In this video, I am going to factor 64m to the power 6 minus 1 over 64m to the power 6. To factor this binomial, what I am going to do, I am going to use these three formulas. One is the difference of squares formula, a square minus b square is equal to a plus b times a minus b. The other two are sum of cubes formula and difference of cubes formula. Now let's go ahead and express this given binomial into as a difference of squares. So I could write it as 8m cube whole square. Why? 8m cube times 8m cube is going to be 8 times 8, which is 64. M cube times m cube is m to the power 3 plus 3, which is m to the power 6, by the way, m to the power 6. Now similarly, the second term I could write it as 1 over 8 n cube square. Now I can use the difference of squares formula and rewrite it as this: 8 m cube minus 1 over 8 n cube. Actually, let's write the plus 1 first, and then 8 m cube minus 1 over 8 n cube. Now I have two factors. However, these two factors can be factors further using this sum of cubes formula and difference of cubes formula. So let's go ahead and use them. So sum of cubes formula, which is this one. So I gotta write this. So let's use a square bracket to separate things here. So 8m cube, I can write it as 2m whole cube plus 1 over 8n, 1 over 2n whole cube. 1 over 2n whole cube is 1 over 8n cube. 2m whole cube is 8m cube. Similarly, I could look at the second one and do the same thing. It's going to be 2m whole cube minus 1 over 2 times n whole cube. Now I can use sum of cubes and difference of cubes formula. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's use this yellow square bracket. So my a is 2m, b is 1/2 n. So I'm going to use the sum of cubes formula first, so which is this one. That tells me a plus b times a square minus ab plus b square. So it's going to be 2m plus 1/2 n times a square. I'm going to simplify it right away. 2m whole square is 4m square. Then ab, which is going to be 2m times 1/2 n. 2 and 2 is going to cancel out. That's going to give you mn. So it's going to be minus mn plus 1/2 n whole square, which is just b square. 1/2 n whole square is 1/4 n square. And that's what I get from this is just from this one. Now let's just use a different color for the other one. So for this one, this is what I'm going to get. Again, this is going to be difference of cubes formula. A minus b, which is going to be 2m minus 1/2 n times a square, 2m whole square, which is going to be 4m square, minus, plus in this case, so this plus AB. We know AB, if we multiply it out, it comes out to be mn plus b square, which is this. That's going to be 1/2 n whole square, which is 1/4 n square. And that should be this big expression is your final answer. If you factor this, you get this. This is sort of like a big and messy one. However, it's not too bad. If you understand the application of these formulas step by step, then it's pretty easy. Just first use difference of squares formula, and then use here difference of sum of cubes formula, and here use difference of cubes formula. So in that order. So use difference of squares formula, then sum of cubes and difference of cubes. Now, there is something I kind of want to touch on about this problem. Somebody could technically argue that this problem, what if I didn't use difference of squares formula first? I used difference of cubes formula first. So you could technically express it as difference of cubes. Yes, you could, however, it's going to make the calculations more messy, and that's why I kind of avoid that. So doesn't matter how you do it, your final answer could be simplified to this form, but using difference of squares makes way more sense and makes your calculation much more easier than trying anything else. So just let's stick to this, and the main thing is that you are applying multiple formulas to simplify this thing. That is the concept that I want to get across. I hope that this discussion was helpful. Thank you very much.